Hello and welcome to WNBA Courtside. It's me, Cyrus. I'm here with the gang yet again. We've got Nthabiseng, we've got Lethabo, and we've got Lockdown K himself, Kaunda Chama. Thank you all for joining me.
Hi.
It's great to be here, Si. It's great to be here.
Always throwing up signs. I don't understand it. But anyway, we're going to be looking at what happened in the sort of first couple of games of the WNBA. It was an incredible opening weekend, and it's setting up the season for a really, really good season. Lee, I know you were pretty excited when you saw some of the ladies get on court. What was your favorite thing that you saw this weekend, and what are you looking forward to?
Well, Washington Mystics made me eat my words, talking about we don't know what they're going to look like. They looked fantastic. I'm a Maisha Hines Allen fan now. I've joined the fan club. Welcome, everybody. Great performance from her and Ariel. I think both of them, why I wasn't so familiar with them is because they were bench players. And so now, because now they've been put into the forefront as starters, they've really proven themselves. I mean, the game against Indiana was Maisha's time to shine. And then in the next game, Ariel held it down. She did a Michael Jordan impression.
Oh.
So
tongue out and everything.
Really impressive performances for the two of them. They're my favorites this week.
They were really, really good. I must admit, I didn't expect too much from them. Nthabiseng, what are your impressions of the first couple of games?
It was a really awesome opening week, I must say so myself. I was quite disappointed with Las Vegas, to be fair. They held it down for so long, and then that last
what a game
minutes, it was an incredible game. I was really, really excited to see Angel had it was back to her dream days, to be honest. She had a fantastic performance. I loved their coach's hairstyle. That was one of my favorite parts out of the whole
if you rocking the headband.
The whole game. Bill was looking really, really good. But yeah, some fantastic performances really from each team. I did miss the Mystics game, which was quite a disappointment, but everything else was looking really good. What's her name from the Chicago Sky? Ellie was a
Quigley.
little quiet for a little bit, but Ellie Quigley, she had spurts of moments where she was shining a little bit, and I just think it was a great opening season with the record numbers being set, and I tried to get myself a hoodie and it was sold out, so that sucked a little.
You couldn't get an hoodie?
It's a great problem to have.
It was sold out.
Great problem
to
have.
Great problem for real.
Because it says a lot about the WNBA.
Yes. I mean, I also enjoyed watching the Seattle Storm. I think the Liberty did a great job. We could see that they will be a team to look out for in the near future. But man, they locked down Sabrina Ionescu so much. She wasn't, very effective.
Welcome to the league.
In her opening season.
She couldn't get her pick and screens up at all.
Nothing. And I remember us speaking about, I don't know which team it was, but I think it was Las Vegas, where we spoke about them not having enough perimeter shooters. We definitely saw that in their opener. They relied a lot on their inside game, on their bigs, which they did well, but you could see that they were missing the shooters.
Liz.
We'll see. Liz
Cambage, she was a big loss, and I think Kayla McBride did play, but Kelsey Plum, man, we're gonna miss her. Kaunda, okay, so your impressions of the opening games, who impressed you? What players? What teams?
Fantastic, and I don't mean to brag, but there was one guy who
I don't mean to brag.
Every game correctly. And that
So
just
you're
puts
talking
a
about me?
smile on my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. No, but it was a weekend of great games. I think this first week is fantastic, and I think it's testament to what we can expect for the rest of the season. I think we're going to see some great basketball from the WNBA. We're going to see some great matchups. I mean, even the scores. You know, when I looked at all the scores, and I expected some of them to be, you know, the gap to be wider than it was, but
Yeah.
you know. Those were close games. Okay, maybe not the Fever and Mystics game, but a lot of the games were pretty close. And it goes to show you that, you know, I might have predicted them correctly, but there was a chance some teams could have taken some of those games if they just held on. But, you know, it's the first week. We can't judge it too much. And if you ask me who impressed me, no surprises here. One Neko Gumike, 20.7 rebounds, 2 assists in the Los Angeles Sparks. Great victory over the Mercury. Yeah, 99-76.
But you see, the problem here, Kaunda, right, is you're picking up the victory, you're forgetting the loss.
Well, we're talking about the opening night. Why do you like to get
the opening stretch of games? If you've played twice, we've got to judge you on 2 games.
True, but still.
Okay.
I gotta go with Neko Gumike.
No,
I think she was great, and you actually were the person who was saying she's going to be great, and she was. So you know, I was like, yeah,
former MVP. You know, you can't
trust Cyrus.
Well, look, I just know what I'm talking about, but
sometimes,
sometimes it's very true. Wait till you're in a car with me trying to find a place, then I don't know where the heck I'm going. But the thing for me was, a standout was the Chicago Sky. I didn't expect them to be as good as they were. We did speak about them when we talked about the Vegas Aces versus the Sky game, and I thought, look, they'll have the shooters, and that might be where they win it, and it definitely was. But it was really interesting to see because Kalia Copper was incredible. I mean, this is the incredible thing about the WNBA, because I was like, okay, hang on, I've been watching this league for a while. Why don't I know who this is? And then you realize, much like what Lethabo was saying, certain people have been elevated from the bench and they're now being given starting roles. And Copper is definitely one of those. Some of the moves that she was making, it was unreal. They're just... her speed, her finesse, the shooting, it was just incredible. And then you combine that with, you know, Courtney Vandersloot has got to be one of the calmest people on any basketball court.
Oh
she just brings the ball up and it's just like, I'm just going for a stroll. And even when they're trying to double team her, it was like, no, don't worry, I got outlets everywhere. But the winning shot.
She's such a great facilitator.
Yeah.
She is a great facilitator. She's not selfish with the ball at all. She's one of those point guards that every single person wants on their team, because she's the one who's going to give you the assist. And she's probably the only person that I've seen in the WNBA who's really willing to dish out the ball to people the way she has been doing.
Exactly.
Very effective.
Exactly. So that was my standout performance. Was the Sky, two wins from 2 games. Not only did they, you know, they beat the Vegas Aces, who were one of the favorites before the season started, but then they went and beat the LA Sparks. Yes, Kaunda, you're trying to forget it, but that happened. And Kalia Copper in both of those.
Second game, you know, it's kind of like the, you know, like in your second year, you know, when you're not a rookie anymore, the sophomore jinx. This was the second game jinx. We'll get over it.
Sure.
I've got excuses for days.
I see that.
It must be an excuse box. But it's interesting that you say that, because I think when I think about the LA Sparks, I also think about their coach, and this is his second season in the league with them, and I don't know if there's a lot of pressure on the Sparks team, because they've got good players, and I mean Candace Parker and Neko Gumike, you got to be winning games with those 2 on the court, but yeah, I'm just not sure, and I guess this is a great way to lead into trying to preview some of the games that are coming up this week. There's one particularly big one that I think we all got our eye on, which is happening sort of early Sunday morning, which is the Sparks versus Seattle Storm. But before we get into that, let's talk about the first one. I guess, you know, the Storm are playing the Mystics. That's going to be a big game. Lee, what do you think? I mean, you've been watching the Mystics. You're now on the hype train. Do you think that this is going to be one of those?
Yeah, I think the Mystics have confidence. I mean, just really looking at them, like they really look. I mean, they don't look as the team that they were last year, obviously, because EDD has not been playing yet. But I really like Aerial Powers. Like, I mean, oh my gosh, she scored like 27 points against the Sun. She had a phenomenal, like she was all over the place. Like her speed is incredible. And then you have Maisha. Like there's not a day in the calendar that exists where I won't say nothing bad about her. She's really, really great. I think when they played against the Fever, she was like, the team was plus 30 with her on the floor. So yeah. I honestly see them I see the Mystics winning this, honestly.
Okay, wow. I mean, that is a big call against the Storm. Anybody else?
Yes.
I mean, Nthabi, Kaunda, anybody gonna with a rebuttal here?
Look,
I haven't seen. Go ahead.
No, please, go ahead. No, I was just gonna say, as much as I think the Mystics, I've started off great, but that Seattle squad, there's something there, and I think that the Washington Mystics will see what they call flames, because I think Seattle can bring it. They've got a solid squad, and I think this is the season where they want to solidify from the get-go that they're championship contenders, and potentially they will lift that trophy.
Come on, I mean, look, we got to talk to Nthabi here about the Storm, because she's in Seattle right now. Clearly, the whole city must be getting behind the women of that basketball team. So, are you also saying Storm are going to beat the Mystics here?
Yeah, I'm only saying that because I haven't seen the Mystics play this season, and I've seen the Storm play this season. They're the most winningest team in this state, so yeah, I see them taking this one. They haven't convinced me otherwise. They have stellar players, they have a great coach, they have a solid bench, they have a solid team all round. It's gonna take a lot for me to go against the Storm right now. So I'm going with Storm.
But Lethabo's got a hand up. Come on.
Here's my thing. I'm basing this on what I've seen so far, because I watched that Seattle game against New York Liberty. It shouldn't have been that close.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been.
Yeah,
Stewart
really
had 18 points. Joelle Lloyd. Granted, Joelle Lloyd, I think she did well. She only had 14 points. Sue Bird had 11. I just based on what I've seen so far, and I mean, the Washington Mystics are a high-scoring team. There's not a place on the court where they can't shoot. I feel like the defense is going to have to be really, really tight for them to actually stop them, because they're on a roll. That's my thing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm really hot on the Mystics right now. From what I'm seeing, they're not only can they shoot, but they shoot efficiently.
And that's critical. If you're going to win games, you got to shoot efficiently, because if you're taking bad shots, then you're trying very hard to lose games. I'm also on the Storm. I'm a Storm guy. Like I really, really feel that they've got what it takes to really get across the line. I haven't seen enough from the Mystics. It was a great win in the first game, but I think the thing about it is that this will be a real test. And
but the Connecticut Suns was a real test, though.
No,
it's a good test. It's not the same kind of test.
Let's not play games. Let's not play games.
Connecticut is strong.
The way that they did, you cannot say that that was a good test.
Yeah. Connecticut is good. I mean, I've got hope in them, but there are different types of tests here, Lee.
Fair enough. But I'm just saying, the fact that they've already stormed past. They've already stormed past the Suns. I can see it happening with Seattle, especially with Seattle's performance on Saturday. I'm just saying.
I love the passion.
Did we all watch the same game or not?
The thing here, though, right, is that you got to also look at it and say, Seattle played the team that was in front of them. They're also trying to pick up their game. And look at what happened since then, right? Because the opening game was pretty good. What happened after that? They played the Lynx. and they take them to town. So this Seattle Storm team really is 2 for 2. They've got what it takes to do well in this league. So I think it's going to be a good matchup. That's why it's one of the ones we want to watch. But I love the passion. So we've got to move on to the next one. It's going to be Saturday. I think early hours of Saturday. So we're going to be talking about the Vegas Aces taking on the Phoenix Mercury. That's going to be another humdinger. Let's start with you, Kaunda, because I know you were also sort of feeling the Mercury and thinking, okay, fine, these ladies should be able to do something. But so far, it's not been good, you know?
Look, remember we actually spoke about them getting Skylar and how that's going to add to that great trifecta they've got happening there in Arizona. And at the same time, the Vegas Aces without Liz Cambage and Alex Bentley, obviously, who's great guard, who's not playing. And look, like Nthabiseng said, Angel McCoughtry really arrived, and you can see why she's the vet that she is. But still, if you ask me, I'm still gonna go with the Phoenix Mercury. I always treat the first week as, you know, shaking off the rust, getting that shot quite right, because, you know, there's a difference between playing in the gym, in your own gym, you know, as a team, and then taking on opponents that have different set plays and that kind of stuff. And I think the Mercury are going to come around, and I think we got the first week blues behind us. And do the Vegas Aces really have enough in the tank this season to take on a Phoenix Mercury that's had such a great addition to it? I don't think so. I think they've got one up on them, unless just Phoenix has a bad day, maybe.
Oh, look, I like your point of view, Nthabiseng. Do you agree?
Man, Kaunda, you make some valid points, but we cannot take away that the bigs that Vegas does have are effective. They are effective. I think Bill knows how to utilize his players well enough for them to come out on top, right? We saw with the game that just passed that, yes, they were missing that outside factor that would have just kicked it up a notch, but the performance that they had against the Sky, we cannot downplay them, you know. So I think it will be a good matchup. Phoenix was not convincing for me. I thought they were a little bit sloppy. I thought we did speak that they only had one person to kind of gel the team together, and you know, even that integration with that one person, it wasn't. I don't know. There was just still something that still needs to happen with Phoenix for them to. Let's give them maybe 2-3 more games and see what happens. But right now, I'm still going with Las Vegas.
Okay, so all bets are on Vegas. I love that. Lethabo's been waiting. No, I've been talking about Nthabiseng's bets. We know you, Kaunda. We heard your point of view. Lethabo,
I always go against the grain.
Which one of these are you going to side with?
I'm going to lean Phoenix. I just think they have more options on the offense. The offense is more versatile. I think the Aces have the exact same problem as the Connecticut Suns, is that their offense is reliant pretty much on 2 people. And that can keep you in games, but sometimes it's not going to win you games. And that whole 3-point shooting is worrisome. The fact that they haven't even shot a 3-point shot, that's not going to fly. Not in this league.
No.
Yeah.
And you know, your point is extremely valid there, because I was saying the same thing when I was watching the Aces games. I was like, okay, nobody's really taking any shots here. I mean, what is happening? And you realize that they're trying to play through the middle. Now, Asia Wilson is a fantastic player, and I think we haven't given her enough of the props that she deserves. I remember when she first came into the league, I said to Kaunda, I think she's the potential LeBron James of the WNBA. Just in terms of her skill set and what she can do. And when you put her with an Angel McCoughtry, I mean, that's a deadly combination. So I like the Aces here, and I must say, it's a tough one to call. I'm a big Aces fan, mainly because of Cambage, but she's not going to be there. But the entire makeup of their squad is one that I like. And you just have to start thinking, with Sugar Rogers, there's a whole bunch of people who can do a job. I think that what we're forgetting here is that the Aces game against the Sky, it was a couple of mistakes down the stretch that actually cost them that game. It wasn't that they
Yeah.
played poorly, that they gave the ball away too often. They took some really bad shots. And Angel McCoughtry actually chucked a pass when she should have taken a shot at one point, and you could see Bull Mbea wanting to pull his hair out.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So I think that the Aces might be too good for the Mercury here, but it's going to be a really big test for the Mercury to see just how well they can gel with the ladies that they have on their team, because those women are ballers. You look at Brittany Griner, you look at Diana Taurasi, you look at Skylar, and you just think, okay, they should win. Okay, I need to pick one. I'm going Aces. So Nthabiseng and I are both Aces, and you guys are going Phoenix. We've got 2 more games to go through, and we're going to go through them quite quickly. Washington Mystics versus Chicago Sky, early hours of Sunday morning. Let's start with you, Nthabiseng. Mystics Sky, who do you think might take that one?
That's a tough one to call also. That's a really, really tough one to call. But because I haven't seen the Mystics play, and my decision is solely because I have not seen them play, so I cannot make a positive or a negative comment against them, but I have seen the Sky play. I think the Sky will have to beef up their game just a little bit, particularly with their bigs. I think Stephanie Dolson was not super effective in this previous game. So I don't know if she put on a little bit of weight, but she's not as mobile as what I've seen her before. So if she comes through in this game and just moves around a little bit more, moves her feet a little bit more defensively, I think they could take this one. And Lee, don't come after me. I'm only saying this because I haven't seen the Mystics play.
Lee, that's it. We're unleashing the DMX. Get at her, dog.
I could see Lee like cracking her knuckles, like, oh.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna come after you.
You're gonna see.
So, Lee, do you think the Mystics will take this one?
Of course. Like, I mean, I chose Mystics over Seattle. Do you think I'm going to choose Chicago Sky over Mystics when I've chosen them over Seattle?
So you think the ladies that you've chosen...
It's a done deal. The offense is good. It looks good. It flows. They're flowing. I mean, like I said, they have 3 people that can shoot. Like, I'm sorry. They have a finals MVP. You're not going to convince me.
I must say, if there's one thing we haven't mentioned, it's that they actually are the reigning champions. And so it's tough to bet against the champs. Yes, there's been a lot of change in the team, but they're the champions. Kaunda, are you going to go against the grain again, yeah?
No, I was just saying it's tough to bet against the champions unless they're the Golden State Warriors from last season. Anyway, moving right along.
Just always taking little digs. Fine, that's it. You got no more time to answer. I think that this is going to be the Chicago Sky's game to really show what they're made of. I'm going all the way in on Kalia Copper. And when I look at the makeup of people, and Nthabiseng, I loved your point about Dawson because I noticed that too. I'm not going to mention weight because I think that's it's a bit tough for me to say, but I'll say fitness. I don't think that Stephanie Dawson is as fit as she should be at this point of the season, and we've just started. So, I think that she just didn't look mobile enough, as you said, and she didn't have enough of a presence in that game. So I do think that we might see a better Dawson in the clash between the Mystics and the Sky. So I'm going to go Sky there. The last game I want to talk about is really the big one. We should have spent all our time on it. We don't have too much left. It's the Los Angeles Sparks taking on the Seattle Storm. I'm going to start with this one. I think that... I'm a Storm guy. How am I going to go against the Storm? I'm going to say the Storm are going to take that one. And primarily because I think at this stage, by that point, they would have had quite a few games under their belt. Well, a couple of games under their belt. The women really would have had the time to sort of get back to the motion of really being out there. And I think there's something a little bit more cohesive about the Storm structure than when I see what's happening with the Sparks. The Sparks... I'm still not 100% sold on the systems that have been put in place there. And so that's my pick. I'm going Storm. Lethabo, let's ask you, and then we'll go to Nthabi, and then we'll end with Lockdown K, because he's going to say something ridiculous.
I'm also going to say Storm. I'm also on the Storm camp, just because, more cohesive team. I think I read something about Candace Parker and Derek Fisher still not seeing eye to eye. So... there's still a lot of it's still a bit frantic for me with the Sparks. I mean, they look good, but I still think they're still trying to figure things out. So
yeah, I agree with you. And Nthabiseng?
I'm going Storm. I am going Storm all the way. People are gonna start thinking I'm a Seattle Storm fan, but
you're in Seattle.
I'm in Seattle right now, and they've got Stewie back, and Stewie just looks like she wasn't injured at all. So I'm gonna go with Storm.
Okay, perfect. Kaunda?
You know where I'm going. I'm going
back
to LA.
Back to Cali.
I'm going back to Cali. I'll tell you this much. Look, at the moment, like the Storm are 2-0. They're comfortably feeling themselves, but the Sparks got smacked in their second game, and I think it gives them time to look at themselves and say, "This is not how we want to start the season. Come on, guys, put in more umph. Get your act together." I know, Cyrus, personally, you don't like Derek Fisher for some reason. I don't know, but you don't trust his coaching skills.
Yeah.
I believe.
I mean, e.g. New York Knicks.
I was going to say, I don't know. Maybe it's his record, but
maybe it's his track record. But I really think this one is for the Sparks to take. The Seattle Storm, I think, are pretty feeling settled because, you know, they got their hinges oiled and they won their first two. But I think the LA Sparks are going to come out here guns blazing, wanting to prove themselves as, you know, former champions, and the fact that they can get their act together and win. So I think the Sparks are going to push a little harder in this game and probably shock the Storm. I wish we could watch this together.
Well, we can, but we'll do it apart, together apart.
Yeah, you know, lockdown together.
Exactly. But thank you so much, everybody. We've come to the end of this episode of WNBA Courtside. Make sure you tune in again. Follow us on the socials. We'll be releasing all of the details soon. But that's it from us. So enjoy the weekend.